Hi and welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm going to be doing some quick little love notes from your person. This is going to be a message cards only reading, and there are 3 groups to choose from. Group 1 is this red Jasper. Group 2 is the Girasol Quartz. And group 3 is the black Tourmaline. So if you want to take a moment to center, focus on your breathing, and feel whichever group, maybe multiple groups or perhaps all of the groups that you're most drawn to, I'll give you a minute to make your selection and then we'll get right into it. And there are timestamps for each group in the description box of the video if you would like to jump ahead, which I do recommend using so that you can skip over me shuffling cards in between groups to clear the energy of the group I've just read for and tap into the energy of the group I'm about to read for. So again, I'll give you a minute. Please use the timestamps and we'll get right into your reading. Hi, Group 1. You chose the red Jasper. So I'm going to be getting 3 cards from 3 different decks, and let's take a look and see what does your person want you to know from their higher self. Okay, and we learn from our karma, so we will be strong. So this person might be going through some tower moments right now, perhaps even maybe is dealing with some kind of karmic connections, third-party connection. This doesn't have to be romantic. That can relate to belief systems, mindsets, family, friends can be karmic, lifestyle choices, some things that this person is really evaluating right now, really taking stock of where they are in their life, where they envision themselves in the future, kind of in this process of letting go of some kind of low vibrational or draining situations, or again, belief systems. And all of this is really, I feel, serving as kind of a point of comparison to the vibration that they have experienced with you. For some of you, this is the realization that they need to let certain things in their life go in order to be able to move forward towards this connection, toward a new beginning in this connection, unencumbered, more evolved from whatever sort of vibration or state that they were in previously. This can even be belief systems or mindsets about differences between the both of you, maybe cultural differences or religious differences, that this person is really starting to create space within themselves to make room for those variables, kind of that idea of, instead of either or, making space within themselves for that that vibration of and, trying to kind of determine how they can sort of bring the truth of their heart, the truth of where their soul is calling them, how they can better incorporate that into their life in terms of this connection and in other areas of their life in general. And we also have I love you more than words could ever say. So they're thinking about you in a very positive light, as a lot of changes maybe are occurring for them, a lot of tower moments, a lot of things falling away, a lot of things changing and shifting. This person's starting to discover parts of themselves, really find that truth and align with their highest good and the path that they want to be going down in this lifetime. They're kind of guided by this sensation of love, the energy that they feel with you, the ways in which you've introduced them to that vibration within themselves. And they also say, remember, my dear, we will unite in the end. So this person has reconciliation on their mind as they are going through these shifts, things falling away, new things starting to grow, starting to be birthed within them, or plans kind of being put in place, or even being set in motion for how to reach those horizons. Kind of involved in that is this idea, this hope that the two of you can come back together in the future, kind of stronger and wiser from the challenges that you've been through individually, and as far as this connection goes, this journey of healing, and again, really discovering that authenticity of self, to be able to sort of navigate a more concise path forward in their life in general, and to really open up the space within themselves and within their life to make room for this connection in the future. Okay, and they say, I love you more than anyone, but failed to show it. So that kind of ties in with that energy of them loving you more than words could ever say. This could be somebody that really held back when they had the opportunity, kind of sitting in this energy of regret at that missed opportunity, reflecting upon that, and again, really determining what changes need to be made within themselves and within their life to facilitate that possibility of renewal with you in the future. And they also say, I carry guilt for the way I mistreated you. So again, thinking back on maybe missed opportunities, ways in which they held back, rejected a cup of love that you had offered to them, pushed this connection away, maybe told you that the two of you were too different to really be compatible or to make this work. And I feel that if that was really the case, that this person has been sitting with that sense of regret, kind of this energy of having made the wrong choice, choosing fear over the vibration of love in the past. And it is something that has stuck with them. It is something that is deeply ingrained in the core of their heart. It's part of this navigation system as well, as they are sort of sifting their reality currently as things are kind of falling away. They're determining what resonates with them. What do they need to be a little more flexible about, or be very rigid and stubborn in the stance of letting certain things go or letting certain people go from their life. Somebody whose perspective is widening, whose perspective is shifting. Someone who's starting to really take responsibility within themselves for where they find themselves in life, for the situation between the both of you as well. This person could have really projected a lot of their distortions onto you in the past, but this feels like someone who is starting to really look in the mirror, really take ownership for some things, and to again accept responsibility for where the two of you are at. An apology could be in the works with this person, as they're doing this kind of internal work within themselves, really trying to formulate what to say, come to that core of truth within themselves, and determine, what they need to do, what action steps need to be taken in order to kind of course correct in this situation in the future. And we also have, I listened to the wrong people. They were wrong about you. So this can relate to family and friends that maybe were not very encouraging of this relationship, kind of feeding into that idea that the two of you were too different to make it work. This can tie into aspects of culture or religion as well. Some kind of very kind of rigid legacy that this person might have felt obligated to adhere to, a certain type of partner, or a certain, certain aspects or characteristics that they had sort of been conditioned or had come to believe were the makings of that ideal person for them. Belief systems as well about kind of the steps that you take in life as far as meeting somebody, that whole stage of courting, and then when that leads to, kind of a furthering of that commitment. And it feels that there is an intensity here with this connection, almost something that really popped open within this person that kind of caught them off guard. You're very unconventional. The circumstances of this connection are very unconventional to what they had been taught to believe and what they had come to believe and had accepted love and partnership should look like. So this is somebody who's in that process of really balancing these things out, coming to terms with these ideas, really, trying to decipher what resonates with them, what do they want to bring forward with them, in terms of those belief systems, in terms of their ideas on love, that perception kind of widening, the experience with you really opening their eyes, and helping them to really see and determine people that maybe did have good intentions, but just the perspective that they were operating from, the feedback that was given about this connection. It's something that doesn't really resonate with this person's core truth. It's almost like they sacrificed that core truth by sort of this energy of people pleasing, or just trying to fit in with expectations or what they had been conditioned to believe love and relationships should look like. Okay, and we have past life. The past returns to heal wounds and trauma to move forward. So this person is in this process of really going on to this journey of self-love, taking a deep inventory of what they have in their life, the people they have in their life, those belief systems, those mindsets, and healing some even kind of generational wounds, some patterns of, maybe just sticking very rigidly to a particular type of partner, wounds that had stemmed from heartbreaks of the past that had kind of distorted or clouded their ability to receive and recognize love when it presented itself to them in the form of this connection. So a lot of recollection, a lot of nostalgia, sort of these bittersweet memories that are coming up for this person, them needing to come into a place of forgiveness for themselves for, that missed opportunity, for holding back or pushing this connection away, in direct sort of opposition to what their heart was calling them to do. And in that process of healing, in that process of, coming to terms with where they are and with their past, and kind of making that roadmap of what they want to develop into moving forward, then they're coming into this state of wholeness within themselves where they are better equipped to offer you something of value, offer you something of substance that can be sort of maintained and sustained between the both of you moving forward. And we also have higher vibrations. Raise your energy and spirit. My darling, please heal. So they could be sending you loving energy, loving vibrations. The more they are healing themselves, the more they are becoming self-aware, very cognizant of how unfairly they might have treated you, or, misjudged you, or kind of leaned into the opinions or even the perceptions of what others might think about this connection, and sort of the wounds and the confusion that had, inflicted upon you and sort of left you with. The more that they are healing themselves and coming to terms with these things, they're also sort of at a distance, kind of in an etheric sense, trying to send you that balm of love that can help to kind of calm some of those wounds within you, almost as like a precursor to this person stepping forth with an apology. Trying at this point in time, maybe as they have a lot of other things going on, to extend again that loving energy towards you, to make known that intention that, they do want to make this situation right at some point in the future. And they also say, I heard our song, memories of you poured over me. So they could be really turning to music to get some healing right now. Maybe listening to some binaural beats to sort of deal with some chakra cleansing that needs to happen. Kind of using music even as sort of a form of escape or refuge from a lot that is crumbling, a lot that is really coming to the surface from their subconscious in their life as well. Kind of that energy of them sending that healing vibration to you, that can also be in the form of music. There might be a song that is significant to the both of you that this person is listening to often to kind of tap into that sweet nostalgia, to kind of make that energetic connection with you in that sense. You could be, receiving songs, messages and lyrics from songs from their higher self. Again, just sort of trying to convey this very loving energy, this very healing energy as a prelude to this person in a 3D sense, eventually being able to kind of present something to you, manifest something in a material sense in terms of reconciliation or an apology, or just trying to kind of loosen and move beyond some of the difficult energy and more difficult experiences that you've had in this connection in the past. So I'm going to get some initials for you now. Group 1, this could be first, middle, or last name of you or this person, or it could spell something out, just whatever resonates for you. We've got L, F, H, E, N, S, K, Q, and I. So those are your messages, group 1. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, or share. If you'd like a personal reading, I offer them through my Etsy shop, and there's a link in the description box of the video for that. I also sell handmade jewelry and some divination tools in my Etsy shop if you're interested in checking those out as well. I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well. Hi, group 2. You chose the Girasol quartz. So I'm going to be getting 3 cards from 3 different decks, and let's see, what does your person want you to know from their higher self? Okay, and they say, I must go. I need to find me. I need you to find you. Only then can we find each other, our path to spiritual enlightenment. So this person could definitely be kind of embarking on this journey into self, this journey of self-love, this journey of self-discovery. There's an energy here of sort of the more they come to terms with themselves, sort of reconciling their light and shadow, the better they are able to recognize just how perfectly and intricately matched the two of you are, almost this dynamic of yin to yang, characteristics and circumstances that they might have thought were just too opposite to work in the past, things about the two of you, lifestyles or even viewpoints, ways of moving through the world, or even exterior circumstances that they might have seen as obstacles in the past are really starting to be recognized and appreciated as attributes in this situation. And they also say, I wish I could be with you, but in our dreams we can be. So through any kind of distance or separation that you are experiencing, the two of you are definitely meeting up in the astral realm, kind of communicating, interacting with each other in sort of that very free and expansive space beyond the limitations and circumstances of the ego and kind of outside obstacles that might be keeping the two of you apart at this point in time. So you might recall meeting them in dreams. A lot of this could also be happening, just energetically, where maybe you're waking up and you feel very refreshed, you feel very calm, very at peace, but not really remembering necessarily the full nature of what that was stemming from. And it's really, this person, the two of you interacting, connecting, really tapping into each other vibrationally to exchange kind of that healing information, almost this idea of sharing notes with each other, sort of the more that, you're tapping into and sort of peeling back those layers of self, learning to love yourself, learning to really, again, reconcile light and shadow. And the more that is raising your vibration, then there's an exchange happening between the both of you in an energetic sense, where you're kind of, giving clues to one another, or, again, just sort of exchanging and sharing this up-leveling, this vibrational lift that then in the waking hours is helping the both of you sort of independently to continue to progress down that path towards self-love, down that path towards self-acceptance and self-knowledge. And they also say, of course, my love, I want to be with you. So if you were wondering if this is kind of an out of sight, out of mind situation, it's kind of been quiet, a full no contact situation with this person, they're letting you know that you are still very much in their heart. You're still very much on their mind. They think of you often. There is this desire almost to come to a space in their life where they know they have a lot of things to work through, some shadows that are coming up, some aspects of themselves, really, stepping into that authenticity, aligning with their higher purpose, with their purpose in this life even. This feels like somebody that really, maybe is holding back from coming forward because they want to be able to come to you right. They want to be able to come to you as a fully articulated individual, recognizing that they're still sort of a work in progress. I mean, everybody's always sort of a perpetual work in progress, but there are some pretty profound blocks that this person might be working through, blocks toward love, or even just with kind of this red energy here in these cards, it's like root chakra energy. So, these blocks about really being comfortable in their authenticity, comfortable with who they are, learning to stand in their individuality in this world, sort of breaking away from any kind of roles or belief systems that they had about who they should be, and sort of deciphering that truth, who they really are, who they really want to be, and kind of bringing that truth from the inside to make some changes in their outside world. So, despite the fact that there is that distance, there is that separation, they may not have come forward, or if they have come forward, it's not been in a very substantial way. This is just sort of almost this idea of like an iceberg, like what you're seeing is just the tip of so much more, this depth and breadth of feeling and love for you that exists beneath the surface, that they're holding inside for you. It's almost like a motivational factor, or something which in time, they do want to present, but there's still more they need to discover and kind of build about themselves first. Okay, and they say you are always in my dreams. So again, another confirmation there of dreams. You could be daydreaming, and this person is really daydreaming about sort of that future point, that destination, kind of that light at the end of the tunnel, hoping for reconciliation someday, a sense of knowing that the two of you will cross paths again, or kind of in this place of strategizing how to make that a reality, how to bring themselves back into your world with something of substance to offer, that so that the connection can be restarted and kind of rebuilt from a firmer foundation and maintained with kind of this stamina and this vigor from the both of you, really coming into alignment within yourselves in order to come into alignment with each other. And they also say, I kept the wrong company around who interfered with this beautiful connection. So that can talk about friends and family that maybe were sort of disapproving of this connection, didn't understand the nature of this connection, or maybe even the intensity of it that this person had alluded to. And that feeling very much sort of uncomfortable to these other people around them who hadn't experienced that same sort of caliber of love, or kind of mistrusting of that, questioning of that. People also who had become accustomed to a certain role that this person had fit into, and sort of the expansion that was wanting to take place, the way that this person was kind of wanting to explore other things, break out of that pattern, break out of that mold, and kind of transform and evolve. That became very uncomfortable to people who got used to and accustomed to, and it was convenient to have this person in that very predictable or even controllable sort of stance or situation or dynamic. So this is something where, the more this person is starting to learn about themselves, they're also learning how, the opinions of others or living up to a certain expectation or standards set by others had really distorted their ability to fully receive and show up in this connection in the past. And so they could be, kind of distancing themselves from people in their life that maybe they're seeing were kind of hindering of that progress toward evolution personally, and also in the experience of sort of a higher level love. And they also say, I feel like a fool for losing you. So as this energy of kind of introspection is taking place, and this person is really starting to recognize how, the differences between the both of you actually are quite complementary. You fit very well together. And it's this sense of, as they're stepping into that authenticity, as they're kind of letting, these illusions fall away, and these kind of projections fall away, and they're coming to that core truth. There is this sense of wanting to move back towards you, of seeing you as very much counterpart energy, as kind of that yin to the yang. Seeing this as a once in a lifetime love as well, the intensity and the nature of this, what this is awakened and spurred within this person, being incomparable to other experiences of love that they've had. And even as they are looking around, and sort of people that might have given them feedback about what they should be looking for or aiming for or encouraging in their life as far as love, and sort of looking at some toxicity that might be occurring within those relationships, seeing that, these people were giving opinions, maybe not from, a nefarious place, but just from a place where they themselves were operating out of kind of a limited perception, kind of a toxic even perception. Okay, and they say, please know above all, I love you, even when I can't express it. So there's that idea of, so much beneath the surface. There's a lot of love that exists and dwells beyond any sort of silence that is occurring right now. And the more this person is excavating that authenticity within themselves, the more they are able to really perceive and receive and kind of work with this energy, this flow, this dynamic between the two of you. And they also say, trust in the universe, believe in the divine plan. So this person is really feeling the need to take things slowly, to allow this to develop organically. There's a lot they need to kind of figure out and put together within themselves. They're not trying to rush into this situation. This feels like somebody who wants to come correctly, who wants to, really sort of reintroduce themselves in a substantial way into your life at a point when they know they are able to sustain this love. They are ready to receive this love and have something of value and meaning to offer that they are able to continue to participate in a long-term sense. And they also say true love begins where you feel it inside you, raising self-worth. So again, really excavating this authenticity, coming into that truth, being able to perceive the truth of this connection, the love they feel for you with sort of this heightened perception, this clarity that they may have been lacking before, where sort of the outside circumstances, the obstacles, the perceived differences between the both of you that had really maybe dissuaded this person from participating more or continuing to participate in this connection in the past. They're really starting to understand that, beyond all of these things, at the core level, at the vibrational level, that what exists between the both of you is the closest thing to true love that they have experienced before and have not been able to really replicate or find again since the two of you maybe parted ways or some distance or separation ensued in this connection. So I'm going to get some initials for you now. Group 2, this can be first, middle, or last name of you or this person, or it can spell something out, just whatever resonates for you. Got X, K, I, R, S, G, L, C, E, F, P, and N. So those are your messages, group 2. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, or share. If you'd like a personal reading, I offer them through my Etsy shop, and there's a link in the description box of the video for that. I also sell handmade jewelry and some divination tools in my Etsy shop if you're interested in checking those out as well. I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well. Hi, group 3. You chose the black tourmaline. So I'm going to be getting 3 cards from 3 different decks, and let's take a look and see what does your person want you to know from their higher self. Okay, and they say, trust in me. It's not like we hoped, but trust in our connection. And in the end, all is possible. So during a period of separation and silence, This person is, trying to kind of find themselves, find their way, maybe pick up the pieces in their life after some things have kind of crumbled, have kind of fallen apart. But you're on their mind, you're in their heart. They may be getting signs about you, reminders of you, memories coming up at unexpected times that, as much as they're trying to focus on other things, it's the sense of not being able to escape thoughts of you. Thinking of you almost from a very tender perspective. If it had been kind of, a volatile breakup or separation between the both of you, there's a sense here of calm that has replaced that, a sense of perspective that has been kind of gained by this person, maybe some regrets as well for the way that they ended things, or allowing separation and silence to continue for as long as it has. This person really coming to the truth within themselves that they miss your company, they miss your presence in their life, they miss the friendship that the two of you had, the blossoming romance or the experiences of romance that you had together. And so there's this almost this energy of kind of starting to move beyond kind of any sort of melancholy and almost looking to the horizon. A sense that this person has that the two of you will cross paths again. This hope that the story is not over between the both of you. Hope that things can be renewed and that the way can be shown to them to make their way back into your heart eventually. And they also say, will I ever tell you how much I love you? My heart can do no more. So if this person had been kind of in denial about their feelings, had kind of pushed those away, repressed these things, maybe the intensity of the connection, things that had really stirred within them, been triggered within them, been activated within them, that caused them to kind of push this away or run from this connection. There's this sense, again, of perspective, this tenderness, this calm that is now flooding into them. It's flowing up from a place of sanctuary, a sense that they almost had pushed away wish fulfillment. They had pushed away a very genuine connection, a place of safety where they were seen for who they are, beyond and behind all the masks and facades that they present, which might have made them feel very vulnerable. But it's now something that they're really yearning for, as kind of those triggers have sort of subsided a little bit. They've done some shadow work. They've kind of come to the root of these things, maybe similar triggers being activated by other circumstances in their life, that as this person has worked through that, it's brought that attention back to these circumstances, to what has occurred with you in the past. And there's a sense of almost feeling ashamed for how they acted, or again, not feeling good for how much time has passed, feeling this kind of building sense of urgency to change the circumstances, to do something, to shift where the two of you stand currently. And they also say, I am sorry, can you forgive me? So they might be in the stages of planning an apology, thinking about this, wishing for this, hoping that someday your paths will align again, or they will really summon that courage from within to maybe have a difficult conversation, to let those walls down, to let that guard down, and to let you back in, or to try and, sort of ask for your forgiveness. Hoping that you will allow them back into your heart and back into your life again, despite what has happened in the past. Okay, and we have deliver me from temptation. So this person might have chosen to maybe go for a third party, maybe made you feel like an option, had chosen a connection that was a little less intense, a little less was required of them, kind of in terms of growth. Somebody who didn't scratch beneath the surface of this person's facades and kind of those exterior and the illusion. There's a sense of isolation that this person has, though, that even if they are, dating other people, or they're surrounded by, friends and family, there's a sense of, people not really knowing the true them in the same way that you had known them, that you were able to see that and perceive that and really respond to that and speak to that core of who they are, again, beyond and behind all of these kind of trappings of the material world and sort of the face that they have wanted to present to people. And so they are recognizing that, this might have been a temptation in the past to kind of take the easier route, to not dive deep into this connection that was compelling them to, sort of step into that higher version of self, step into that authenticity. And there's some regrets about that. There's this urge and this wish that this person has to return back to you, feeling that there still are some neat things that need to be uncovered within themselves first, things that need to, kind of be released from their life, maybe even, relationships or patterns of showing up in connections that need to be worked through before they are able to really have the chance to be able to come back into your life, have the chance to really re-spark something between the both of you. This person recognizing that there are some things within themselves that need to be kind of mended, that need to be kind of put back together, restraining themselves also from this urge to kind of move forward now that they have, really kind of sitting in this energy of sanctuary where, any sort of impulsivity on their part, any kind of volatility that might have existed in the past has kind of subsided, and there is this urge that's pulling them back to you. But this is a sense of wanting to come in correctly, not wanting to rush in too prematurely, or at a point where things will just unravel once again in the future. And they also say, part of me died when I let you go. So again, that kind of sinking feeling at having really missed out on something good, the opportunity for true love in a sense that has been unknown to this person up till now, and they have not been able to find sense. And as much as whatever they might have moved toward, it's the sense of the grass not being greener on the other side. If they made you feel like an option, the choice that they made did not deliver them the same type of soul satisfaction that this connection has. And they also say, you are perfect in my eyes, don't ever change. So if this person had maybe projected upon you that you were too intense, you weren't enough, you weren't what they were looking for, all of that was really a facade. It was really, a mask. It was a distraction. You touched something deep within the authentic core of this person that they had been running from or denying about themselves, and kind of this invitation that the connection, that the energy exchange between the two of you offered, to bring that part up into the light, to really step into that authenticity. It was something that this person wasn't really ready for. And so instead of, accepting that place of fear within themselves, they might have really projected those distortions upon you in the past. And it's something that, again, as kind of that volatility, that impulsivity has kind of been replaced by calm and with perspective. They're seeing how much you match up to that ideal vision of what they had in their mind, maybe since childhood, of what a true connection would be like, what a partnership should be like. There's a sense here of almost being, best friends and lovers, and kind of this full package, the full picture. The two of you really communicating and understanding each other without the need of words, an empathic bond where you're really able to kind of feel in and perceive what is going on vibrationally with one another, to offer the kind of energy that is necessary, infusing love or giving space as required to one another. And again, something that they haven't been able to duplicate in other connections, something as they are reflecting on their life and where they have been and kind of the choices that have brought them up to this point. They're seeing you as really standing out above all the rest, even kind of a deeper and intimate bond even than they have with friends and family, which could be quite confusing. Maybe the two of you, the relationship didn't last that long, or it was something that never really got off the ground, kind of a failure to launch. And yet there is this familiarity that they have with you, the sense of safety of being known and being seen, that they might not have even experienced with people that they've known their whole lives. And it's an energy of wanting to get back to that, realizing what they have allowed to slip out of their fingers, and trying to kind of move through that sense of disappointment to find a way to kind of recapture this, to restart this, respark this. And they also say, we will unite in the end, we were meant to be. So they are really recognizing you as this counterpart, as this perfect match, as somebody that, they choose to be with. This person really kind of making this choice to move beyond illusions, to get very clear within themselves about, what they want. What does happiness look like to them? What should love feel like? Taking the time to really evaluate experiences that they've had that, have really just fallen short of either the potential that exists between the both of you, or instances where they were miscategorizing things as love, but it was really just codependency or some kind of a cycle of toxicity, something that really fed into, this person's kind of distortions, wounds of the ego, or grandiose ego, and things that really did not touch on that core, on that authenticity of who they are. Connections that might have only been there sort of in when times were good, but then as storms have kind of erupted in this person's life, and they're starting to see the true colors of those around them. They're starting to see how others might not have their best interest, or there's not the longevity that they had hoped for in a connection, again, with that energy of temptation that might have looked really good from the outside, or just didn't have that level of depth to it. But at the same time, when they need that deep anchoring, when other things are kind of going awry, then sort of those shallow connections are really falling short of that. And they also say it's time to be more active, stop passive behavior, call back parts of the soul to be whole again. So it feels like this person is really aggressively trying to break through some patterns. They're kind of moving out of this energy of avoidance and starting to self-reflect, starting to recognize their role in the circumstances they find themselves in, belief systems and ways in which they might have been settling for less than they deserve, kind of entertaining low vibrational relationships, or relationships that really kind of resonated again with sort of these wounds and distortions within them. The sense of kind of moving out of this complacency, moving out of this state of just accepting their reality, of just kind of flowing along with what is easy, with what expects very little of them, wanting to change, really hearing that call, that challenge to grow, and answering that call, maybe in small steps, maybe just taking that first step of admitting to themselves that they've been operating out of distortions. Sort of peering behind those masks, peeking behind those layers, to find what really dwells there. What is the root of these things? Seeking to, heal these roots, extract these roots, so that authentic version that has been living inside, that has dwelled inside, that version that you tapped into, that you connected with, that this person really, felt recognized in that capacity, perhaps for the first time in their life, to allow that version of them to kind of be unearthed and to grow and to shine forth. And they also say, I heard our song, memories of you poured over me. So the two of you could be sending each other messages and love and vibrations of encouragement through music, through song lyrics. They could be listening to love songs a lot and just really tapping into that core, that space, that, the genesis of the connection between the both of you. Thinking back again on this energy of nostalgia, now that some of that more volatile or triggered energy has kind of subsided, and they're starting to hold this connection, being able to receive and understand this connection from a more tender space, from a loving space, wanting to kind of work together even with you energetically, to kind of make sense out of all this confusion, out of everything that has happened between you in the past and even individually within this person, to try to make something beautiful out of this, to try and bring these pieces, together into this symphony of what is possible then in the future for themselves as an individual, and also in terms of this connection. So I'm going to get some initials for you now, group 3. This can be first, middle, or last name of you or this person, or it could spell something out, just whatever resonates for you. I've got G, J, B, T, F, M, U, R, W, Z, I, and Q. So those are your messages, group 3. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, or share. If you'd like a personal reading, I offer them through my Etsy shop, and there's a link in the description box of the video for that. I also sell handmade jewelry and some divination tools in my Etsy shop if you're interested in checking those out as well. I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well.